Okay. I'm back. Some of the new icons, costume icons on here are not working as well right now, but eventually they will. I'm still going to keep testing those out because I think they're a good fit. And anyhow, um, that's what I'm going to be doing. And I also I'm going to try to dig up some new trivia questions in that too, and get those written out for you. And just gonna sit back, drink my Coke, because I actually got a authentic bottle of Coke this time, and 2 liter from the store. And so anyhow, it's just like it's one of those relaxed nights, and that. So it's so it's can fit into a couple fit in a social time or whatever, and that and you know um, like there's a lot of good horror movies out there and that kind of thing. If you ever seen any of the Stephen King movies, they're pretty good for those that are into those. Again, this is a good book. It is Six Gothic Tales, all the dark Gothic tales that's ever that have actually were published, and that they're really good stories. I get to the artists were in each story, and that kind of thing for that one. And I always like them. I always sit back sometimes and enjoy reading those, and that kind of thing. And so about my Halloween plans and that kind of thing, about my haunted house and that. Anyhow, once too, I get I get pieces. After I get everything all cleaned up after Halloween and that kind of thing, I will be slowly working on the new stuff, and excuse me. And bit by bit, I'm going to be working on building the computer up, the desktop up, and all that. So that'll be slowly be priorities for building wise. I'm gonna buy piece by piece, and that kind of thing, and bit by bit, and same with the TV, like the background and that kind of thing. The big flat screen TV and the extra camera, and I've got my tablet charging, so my video camera and that will work. And then I've got the other video camera running off the TV or whatever, and so I've got all of the Joker's on duty studio camera covered. 2 places. There's only certain places in a home you can put cameras. Certain places you cannot. Living room I can, and where my front living room studio is, and the spare, and also to my spare bedroom, considering nobody's using it, or actually sleeping in it at that particular time. And so like I said, that's going to get cleaned up. It's but as much as I try to get rid of the extra bed we don't need, it does get used. So I have relatives, sometimes they come over, they sleep over, and they need the extra bedroom. So I really can't really expand my studio that way. If I had a chance to, I would, and I would operate again out of both rooms, and the big living room, and have like an office studio, and that kind of thing, and change it all around. Because right now I'm actually blocking the bathroom door, so people have to kind of squeeze by my chair. And right now with Halloween coming up, and and the Hunter's Cabin haunted house, I've got dummies all over the place, stuffed ready for that. And so that's taken up like 9/4 of the room here. So again, it's and that. So it's eventually. If I over time, if it comes to a point that this room is no longer being used by my relatives and that when they come over, and we don't have any more stay overnighters, like any family member wise, then that room that extra double mattresses will probably go to the dump, that kind of thing. And that will actually become an extension to my studio, Jokers on Duty studio, and so that way I'll have that and the whole living room, and that's so, so that is that there's what some of my goals are. To build a desktop now. There is a lot of I'm kind of right now. I'm just shopping around, so to see where authentically because the fact that Wiarton, we do have Maine two big industrial stores here. We do have a source store here in Wiarton, and we do have a home hardware building center. And that, but most of our stuff that if we buy stuff like that, we usually will go into Owen Sound to buy it, and because everything's more cheaper in Owen Sound than it is here in Wiarton, and like most of my electronics. Sometimes I buy my electronics here in Wiarton. Most of the time, I like to buy it if I can get into Owen Sound. Now Wiarton has its own bus service from Wiarton to Owen Sound at certain times. That way, if I do, if I got the money and I want to go into Owen Sound, I want to buy buy pieces and that for my computer. I'm gonna start saving up for that, and so that way I can build my desktop up, and get that as number one priority, starting to build, and that so. So it's so once I have the extra room, my table is going to have the computer on it, the desktop computer, which will plug over into a space bar, and that way, like when I was a volunteer audio sound technician, I learned a little trick that I can run the cords under a carpet, and so that way nobody's tripping on them. And which is an actual safety thing there, and it solves the safety issue there, and that way my desktop can actually build up here with the camera and that kind of thing, and a lot of my once the dummies are down after Halloween, my studio can actually move up and a bit closer. That way I've got that way it's actually the table and everything's gonna move straight up, and that way, and then I'll have the actual desktop on here with the webcam camera and that kind of thing, and my tablet will be charged up. Hopefully, I can get my battery working, that kind of thing, and get let that which I'm letting charge now. That way, I can get my tablet on working, because I can use the live stream on my Facebook on my tablet too. And that's so that'll be that can actually be up, get that up on the go, and that kind of thing. So I've got that video camera to go operating too, and that's also portable. And when I do live, if I go to a live event or whatever, I can live stream from it or my phone, and so that'd be good at that end. And that, so then I'm gonna get the mouse, I'm gonna get the keyboard. Printer I do not need, due to the fact that my wife has a fax machine, and it built a 3-in-1 fax machine, printer, and photocopier, and she has half of it working, but she doesn't have she has trouble getting the fax working, because she doesn't know anybody who knows how to program them, and I don't know how to program them, and she don't know how to program them, and that's the only thing about those fax machines. And so far the fax part she doesn't know how to get working, but she knows how to use the photocopier and the printer, but which is way above my head. I like more. I'm more of a video filmer than anything, and that so she's she's working on trying to get that up and going, and I'm trying to get my computer and my actual desktop computer built up for filming and set up and starting to build up and getting getting piece by piece for that. Which it's easier to go piece by piece because then you're not buying the whole thing together, which is going to be very expensive. You buy it as a whole kit, and it is actually a lot cheaper buying parts for it, buying piece by piece. Just keeping on whatever name brand that you buy for the keyboard. I've already got a monitor here. Hopefully it's work, but I've got to get a new. One of those new cords from that goes from the keyboard to the modem, not the modem, but the monitor, and and then you have the one running that actually runs from the monitor to the modem, and then the keyboard plugs into to the modem, and or the hard drive or tower or whatever you want to call it these days. I used to have a Dell. I used to have a big Dell. They worked fine. It lasted me for a long time, and that kind of thing. But that monitor has an Action Club sticker on it. But when my mom died, I think my sister swiped that monitor. Because it was that full computer was sitting at my mom's place, so I think my sister's claimed that. I couldn't get down there to actually claim anything. So, or if I was able to get down there, I would have been in there before everybody else, claiming everything for myself. Just kidding. But over time I would have actually divided it. But anyhow, and that so I'm kind of starting to build piece by piece up. I'm gonna actually start with this month. I'm gonna start buying. If I can afford it this month, I'm gonna start with a keyboard, mouse, because you can buy actually a kit together. That way you get those two things together, and then another month I might actually go and buy the hard drive tower, and that if by any chance, or by the actual the cord that plugs into the tower into the monitor, but by any chance that this monitor has a virus in it, which I haven't checked for, if this monitor by any chance does not work, I will go buy a new monitor, because there's actually a lot of fancy monitors on the market than this old thing, that I would rather buy brand new, and dump this other doohickey thing, or probably use it as a double monitor, or to project it. So even your flat screen TV. Even if you just have a tower, your actual big flat screen TV can actually service you as a monitor, and a lot of people didn't know that. Where it has a different, it has HIDM1, then it has HDMI 2, and then it has TV, HDMI 1, HDMI 2, because it's got the holes for it, and then you got your color cords for stuff that takes color cords, and then underneath the IDM2 it'll say video, and underneath video it'll say PC. and the one that says PC is where you set your TV to PC, and you plug your computer monitor, your computer tower into that, and your keyboard, and that will actually, or laptop, that will actually, your actual flat screen TV will service you as a computer monitor, and that kind of thing. And so that'll be quite interesting. So that way you don't even have to use the HDMI. You're just using your blue screw and cord, your big long that has the big square things on the cords that actually bolt into the plug, and lines up with the plug, and then the one goes to your actual hard drive, and it goes up to the TV, and then you can actually plug your keyboard in. So you can have another little table there with your keyboard, and you can type anything in you want, and then you can put your webcam on it, and then that service you has a big huge, what you call big huge. Computer, just like it will, like your just like it could your like it does your TV cable. It'll service your DVD player, VCR, your games, your actual game machines, whatever you have in game machines, that kind of thing, and. So it serves you a lot. So basically, on top of building, what you call live for live streaming, setting up for live streaming, it's serving you. It is actually serving you as what you call an actual DJ center, a computerized DJ center, and so I mean it's good. We got Wi-Fi. Some people are still sitting on and stuck with dial-up, and that means they can't use the base phone without changing the plugs, with actually changing the plugs on the jack, because they got to switch the plugs over in the jack. Like we have a new jack now. We've got what you call 2 phone cord holes, and the phone goes in the top, and the internet modem goes in the bottom. And we're on Wi-Fi internet, so that's doing us pretty good wonders, eh? And that's it's bringing our service, quite up good. So and that's it's like that means we don't have, so that's why now we can we can use, I can actually now, you noticed in my live streams that I can actually pick up the base phone now without the line intercepting my internet on my mobile, and but before it was doing that. So we found out it was the wiring that was the cause of it all, that kind of thing. And so again, when I build up my desktop computer, it's not going to be even though it's out in my studio living room, it's not going to be a public computer, because the fact that it is strictly only going to be for Jokers on Duty use only. That way it's only going to be used for live video streaming only, because I don't want a bunch of stuff downloaded on it, because people come in here and they start downloading stuff on my computers, and that's that's probably what happened to all my other computers, because like I've had what you call desktop computers before, and people say, "Oh wow, okay, there's a desktop computer sitting in the living room," and they just jump on it and they don't even ask to go on it, and they get into it and they start downloading a bunch of garbage on it, and which causes an overload and crashes the hard drive. and it gets very expensive to replace. So um, it is going to, once I build up my desktop computer, I am going to sticker it, meaning that it is only going to be, there's going to be a sign on it. It'll say for Jokers on Duty's live streaming studio only, and not for any other use. Because that way it's only going to be used just for the one thing. It's not going to be used for 1,000 different things, because I don't want an overload on it. I don't want people coming in here and start downloading movies on it, and downloading games and all that garbage on it, and that kind of thing. If by any chance, if there's some streams where, like, let's say it's a like Christmas holiday, and it's just live streaming a bit of a Christmas party or whatever, and I'm sitting here having a bit of a social, and on Jokers on Duty social, and by any chance I've got a CD playing in the background, that's different. That's not right on the computer, so that kind of thing. So it's I'm not gonna have all that nonsense or crap going on. Sorry to put it that way, on my desktop computer, because I'm gonna actually kind of set it up, and when I start buying piece by piece, I'm actually just kind of program it just to the Wi-Fi internet, just so it'll be just for Jokers on Duty Facebook live streaming only. That way it's nothing's getting into it, and that. Only thing basically I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna password that, and I'm gonna have the password in my wallet, that only I know the password to it, that nobody else is gonna be able to get into it. Like, even if I'm not home, like, nobody's gonna get into it. They won't be able to play with it. So it's gonna be totally off limits to a lot of people, and it's only gonna be for Jokers on Duty filming only, for my shows only. So I'll trade you. Enough with the flashlight, buddy. Man, I know you get impatient. But yeah, so that's basically how that's gonna set up. It's only gonna be used for studio filming only, or my private studio filming only. So it's only gonna be just servicing Jokers on Duty only. So anybody who's sitting in on, like, let's say, come to visit and they choose to sit on the Jokers on Duty shows, they're gonna, I'm gonna say that the computer is only going to be used just for that, because I've found out and learned over the years the computer is using for 15,000 different things. That's how viruses get into it, and that kind of thing. And the computer don't last you, because people just don't listen, and they get on, and they start putting stuff on there, and next thing you know, it's then when I ever go to use it, things no good, because you get you get virus warning notices all of a sudden, and coming through, because somebody's been on it, and other people been on it, and they downloaded stuff on it, or they downloaded a bunch of movies on it or games, and because there's too many of these video game fanatics out there. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with video games, but when they actually start filling their systems with video games, it's too hard on it is too hard on the memory, and they're so addicted to downloading them, they end up crashing their systems or whatever devices very quickly, and as much as I love having games. Like right now, my mobile does have a few games that I did enjoy playing, but I am eventually going to get rid of those, because I don't even now. Even with my mobile, it's It's starting to it's starting to get to the storage fullness right now. So if I get rid of the games, then it'll clear everything out and that kind of thing. So again, that way my phone will be just used for just the FaceTiming end of it, and Facebook streaming and that kind of thing. There'll be authentically no games on here. Same with any of my devices. Once I get my tablet working, again, if there's anything that I might have put on it, I'm going to delete all that out, and that kind of thing, and that refresh it new, and that way it's ready to go. And then again, it'll be just used for Facebook live streaming only. Same with my desktop computer when I get it and I start building it up. There will not be allowed nobody on it because it'll only be for my Jokers on Duty studio use only. Because it's I have to have clean devices to circulate the live streams. Because if there's video games downloaded into it, or people downloading movies and stuff on it, it kills off if it uses up too much memory and uses up too much storage. And what happens? It crashes the server. It crashes the memory card, and that. So it's not healthy for the computer. So again, it's. That is actually, well, my cell phone I don't have to worry about putting the password into because I have it on me all the time. But the tablet, it is mobile. It is carryable too. So I'm gonna go back to once I get that working. That's gonna be carried with me all the time. But as far as the desktop alone, that'll be locked down with a computer. Hey. I'm gonna throw probably a stuffed ball at you in a minute. Stop scratching my furniture. And anyhow, and so like that. The desktop computer is only gonna be just for my use only, just for my Jokers on Duty filming only. I don't want a bunch of people punch even some of my friends that may come in that live in town here. I don't want them going on it because they're just gonna fill it up with video games and movies and like they're just gonna download off public websites and that kind of thing. And a lot of these sites, even if they're not carrying virus or whatever, I just don't want to take a chance of viruses getting into anything. Because these people, that's all they are. They're video game fanatics. They figure they have to download stuff on other people's devices, and I hate that. Everybody has to be like them. Everybody has to have this on their phone. Everybody has to have that on their phone. They don't use it smartly. And that, hey, down, and and they wonder why it doesn't. After a while, it doesn't work because putting a lot of junk on it. They don't need on it, and that kind of thing, and that, and then they figure out how I could have live video stream on Facebook. They don't. The reason why they don't is because they're using up all the room for video games, or they're downloading movies on their on their devices, and they're using excess bit storage they don't need, and they're using up all the gigabyte space. And if they use up all the gigabyte space, other programs like this, like live Facebook video stream, there is no room for or no space left for that to pick up on, to actually circulate. So again, because internet itself doesn't use gigabyte space, it's only what you download into it and that kind of thing. It's on its own server and channel, and that. So You know, it's, which is a great thing about that. And so anyhow, that's what that's going to do. So that's what I'm going to do, is like I'm slowly going to buy piece by piece and build my desktop from scratch. You know, even about 1 month I buy the keyboard, next month I buy the monitor, if I decide to buy a brand new monitor, and then the actual, or whatever you call it, I think it is called the connector cord for that goes to the monitor, to the hard drive. So, and then I'm going to buy one of those webcams that Mike Klotz was suggesting, the good ones to use, with the motion technology in it or whatever. When you read it on the box, there's certain kind that you can get, and that. So that's that. I think that's the one that and that. That's what I said. I'm not going to get very cheap webcam that isn't going to videotape anything, that kind of thing. Because there is a lot of cheap ones on the market. Because the cheaper they are, the garbage they are, and so you know, it's I'm gonna look at kind of shop around, see what they have and that kind of thing, and that, and I'm keeping my eye. Get down! I can't keep correcting you on here, buddy. You're being a bad boy. And so anyhow, that's gonna be the first step. Is I'm gonna be building up the Jokers on Duty desktop computer, so that way I'll be able to actually videotape. And then after that, I'll work on getting another small TV and put it in the back corner. And that way, it's strictly going to be just that TV is strictly going to be set up just for camera videotaping only. And that, so like I said, I've got my tablet that's charging up, trying to get that working again. Then I'll have then eventually I'll have the actual desktop going. Then I'll have you know, my cell phone for special events and that kind of thing. So so both ways I still will have some different type of access to live stream. And sometime down the road, if I can do it, I am gonna extend to both rooms, the guest bedroom, get rid of the guest bedroom, and extend that into a studio and that kind of thing. And you know, so I'll be that way I'll be comfortable. I'll be actually able to operate out of both rooms. That way that bed is going to go to the dump, and that kind of thing. And that way I'll be able to actually operate out of that room and operate in the living room. So that's basically the direction we're going to go with, and that. But like I said, right now it's kind of hard because, like I said, I do have you know, sometimes my in-laws, they come and they do stay the night, and I have to, with the 2-bedroom, I have to have a place for them also to sleep. So again, so it's kind of hard for me to use that as a studio, because it's kind of hard to do any filming in there with a bed in there. Hey, get your paw off there. Get your paw off there. Off. So, and that, so, that's basically how that's gonna work, and, hopefully that'll, hey, don't be chewing my stickers. Go build your own box and chew your own stickers. Daddy put a lot of work into that. Come here. Oh. So anyhow, somebody here, sit here, behave, and say hello to people. Hey, and so yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do is build up the desktop computer, and run a video stream off of it, and I'll have still have my mobile phone, and then I'll have my you gonna give me daddy high five? Okay, and get my tablet working, and that's so, and so everything will be working, and be able to videotape, and we'll see you at the Hunter's Cabin Haunted House on Monday, October 30th. It'll be just live streamed on here, and same with October 31st with the Hunter's Cabin Haunted House. And this was your Jokers on Duty. And also, too, like Michael Kloss was saying, don't forget your peace, love, positivity, and have a great night, guys. Bye.